Visiting the Brancion castle is being an archaeologist, stepping back into history away from tourists and commercialization. In the rolling hill country of southern Burgundy, France, this 12th century castle sits high, overlooking the surrounding countryside, a semi-restored bastion of medieval times. The castle anchors the small village of Martelly-les-Brancion, population 135, a mere 30 kilometers south of the town of Tournus, and several centuries behind. The first record of a settlement here comes from a fellow named Garou in the 9th century, with excavations finding evidence of a Gaelic fortress at the site. Documents from 965 AD established a feudal ownership, followed by a charter of 1186, establishing the castle as the home base for the line of the Dukes of Burgundy. Here, in the 12th century, the first parts of the castle were built, and for the next 300 years, successive dukes lorded over the peasants in true feudal form. In 1477, with the death of their last lord, Duke Charles Le Téméraire, the property reverted to the King of France, Louis XI, who was busily uniting all the fiefdoms of the nation into one country. The appointed chancellors under the king continued the feudal tradition, now with royal charters to squeeze as much tax out of the peasants as possible. Those with infractions were not tortured, except on rare occasions, to make an example when the body was hung on the castle gates to rot. Over the next few centuries, the castle deteriorated from neglect, the town reverting to self-rule. In 1860, the property was bought by a patron who did a bit of restoration, but then the castle continued to deteriorate for another century and a half under private ownership. In the beginning of the 21st century, a private organization entered under contract to do the repairs, now with enough reconstruction to offer a magnificent feeling for how life was lived in medieval times. The 4-story structure provides 2 to 3 hours of fun, complete with an audio tour. Each room is described with vivid imagery, the treasury, the armory, the reception halls, and so on, as one climbs stage by stage to the top of the keep for the panoramic views. From the 13th to the 15th century, Brancion was an important regional commercial center with a large marketplace, although now it's a quiet backwater where only residents and deliveries are even allowed to enter in their vehicles. One room has intact wall paintings from the 19th century restoration. In 1594, during the religious wars, the royal troops sacked the castle after a long siege, burning it to the ground. I was fascinated with the toilet system, 2 stories, each with double holes in a room with no windows that emptied outside to a runoff into the moat. The castle is open from April to mid-November at €7 entry fee. For 2 more, you get the audio tour. There's a full gift shop stocked with books and costumes featuring medieval history, and many events in the summer, including a medieval festival on the 3rd weekend of July with shows, concerts, and fun activities. Afterwards, take a stroll through the town for more old buildings to see and a leisurely lunch under the trees. Please subscribe to my YouTube videos and perhaps check out my website. You might find a book you like.